I wish you could like smell all these warm spices. If you like pumpkin cake, I think you're gonna love this one. My name is Louise and I'm a self-taught cake artist who is obsessed with baking. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create the most Halloweeny pumpkin cake with brown butter, pumpkin spice and mascarpone. This cake is truly like a warm hug with lots of spices, perfectly balanced with a smooth mascarpone cream and a moist pumpkin cake with pumpkin spice. If you want to see more cake tutorials like this one, I would love if you would take a second to like this video and subscribe to my channel below. The cake consists of Pecan Crunch with milk chocolate, pumpkin cake with brown butter and pumpkin spice, pumpkin ganache, mascarpone cream, pumpkin spice mousse, mirror glaze, and chocolate decoration. If you want to learn more about how to elevate your pastries and use the signature decorations that I use in all my cakes, you can check out my chocolate decoration courses that I also have linked here in the description. In the course, I show you how to temper chocolate, how to create my 10 favorite chocolate decorations, how to avoid the most common mistakes when working with chocolate, and how to work with chocolate to elevate the look of your pastries. So, let's bake it!
Carefully melt the sugar to a golden caramel in a pan, stir in the nuts and pour the mixture onto a piece of baking paper. Allow the nuts to cool. Finely chop the nuts. Carefully melt the chocolate and Nutella. Set the pot aside. Stir finely chopped pecan nuts, gelatin and salt into the chocolate. Roll out the crunch between two pieces of baking paper and put it in the fridge or freezer until it is set. When the crunch is set, cut out a circle of the crunch with a 16 cm diameter pastry ring. Put the crunch layer in a clean pastry ring with acetate sheet inside and baking paper at the bottom. Cut a Hokkaido pumpkin in half and bake it in the oven for approximately 45 minutes at 175 degrees until the pumpkin is tender. Let it cool. Scrape the pumpkin pulp and hand blend for a creamy consistency. Heat butter in a pot or pan until it melts, then it will sputter and lastly start foaming. When the butter starts getting a darker color, stir until all the butter has a dark caramelized color. Put the brown butter in a bowl and let it cool for 5 to 10 minutes. Stir the brown butter in the bowl with the butter and mix with a hand whisker. Add salt, vanilla and pumpkin spice to the dough and combine it with a hand whisker. Stir in the egg while whisking. The dough should now have a shiny texture. Mix pumpkin puree in the dough. Lastly, stir in flour and baking powder with a rubber spatula. You can afterwards use a hand whisk to whisk out any clumps. Pour the dough in a spring form or pastry ring with baking paper. Sprinkle the cinnamon/pumpkin spice topping on top of the dough. Bake the pumpkin cake for approximately 20 to 23 minutes at 175 degrees. Let the cake cool. Then place it on top of the crunch layer in the pastry ring. Put the cake in the freezer while preparing the next layer. Soak gelatin in cold water for 5 to 10 minutes. Carefully melt the chocolate and set the chocolate aside in a bowl. Heat pumpkin puree, heavy cream and pumpkin spice almost to a boil and remove it from the heat. Whip in the gelatin. Pour the hot mixture over the chocolate while stirring in the center with a rubber spatula until the ganache becomes glossy. Pour the ganache in a jug and hand blend. Pour the ganache on top of the pumpkin cake. Put the cake back in the freezer. The ganache needs to be set before the next layer can be added. Soak gelatin in cold water for 5 to 10 minutes. Whisk egg yolks and icing sugar in a bowl to a thick and foamy consistency. Heat vanilla paste and heavy cream almost to a boil in a small saucepan. Remove it from the heat and whip gelatin in the mixture. Stir the cream in the egg mixture. Let it cool to lukewarm. Whip heavy cream to whipped cream with hard peaks. Mix the mascarpone with the whipped cream. Fold the cream/mascarpone mixture into the egg mixture. Spread the cream on top of the ganache. Freeze the cake overnight. Soak gelatin in cold water for 5 to 10 minutes. Carefully melt chocolate in a saucepan and put it aside in a bowl. Heat heavy cream and pumpkin spice almost to the boiling point. Remove the pan from the heat and whisk in the gelatin. Pour the hot mixture over the chocolate while stirring in the center with a rubber spatula until it comes together. Let it cool to lukewarm. Whip heavy cream to a lightly whipped foam and fold into the mass that has been cooled to lukewarm. Place the cake mold on a chopping board and a narrow piece of acetate baking sheet inside. Pour the mousse in a silicone mold of 18 cm diameter. Take the frozen cake out of the freezer and gently put it in the pumpkin spice mousse with the mascarpone cream facing downwards. Freeze the cake overnight. Soak gelatin in cold water for 5 to 10 minutes. Finely chop the chocolate and put it in a large jug. Heat sugar, water, cream and glucose syrup almost to a boil. Remove the pan from the heat and whisk in the gelatin. Pour the hot mixture over the chocolate in the jug. Hand blend until the glaze comes together. Add orange and red fruit coloring paste. Put cling film on top of the jug and let it cool to 35 degrees. When the glaze is almost ready, heat the mirror glaze to approximately 60 degrees in a small pot. When the glaze is ready, put the mirror glaze in 2 small balls and add black and white paste color. Place the cake on a baking cooling rack with baking paper underneath. Pour the 35 degrees warm glaze over the cake. At this point, the mirror glaze should be 55 to 60 degrees. Right after the cake is glazed, the 55 to 60 degrees warm mirror glaze is poured onto a large flat palette knife. Pour the black color onto one end of the palette knife and the white color on the other end. Run the palette knife with the mirror gaze slightly over the top of the cake. Place the cake on a cake platter and let it thaw in the fridge for approximately 6 hours. If you want to learn more about how I create the chocolate ribbons and chocolate straws for this cake, you can check out my chocolate decoration courses on my website, louisalindbergpastry.com, where I show you how to create my 10 signature chocolate decorations. Make the chocolate balls by pouring the tempered chocolate in silicone molds in different sizes. Use a small rubber spatula to distribute the chocolate in the molds. Turn the mold upside down to make the chocolate run out. Make sure not to make too much chocolate run out, as this will make the chocolate balls thinner, which can make them crack when being removed from the mold. Flip the mold back and scrape the surface so you have a surface that's even and straight. Put the molds in the fridge and let the chocolate set. Gently release the chocolate domes from the mold. Put a small pot briefly on the heat. Remove it and flip it around so the hot bottom is facing you. Then very briefly place 2 chocolate domes on the pot bottom so the chocolate can melt a bit before you assemble the 2 domes. The melted chocolate will act as glue. Place the 2 chocolate ribbons around the cake. Place 3 chocolate balls on top of the cake. Melt a little of the black chocolate, gently put it on a chocolate straw and place it on the largest chocolate ball.
I love this one. I wish you could smell all these warm spices through this ring. This truly is ultimate autumn Halloween cake. If you like pumpkin cake, I think you're gonna love this one. There's so much pumpkin in it. The brown butter pumpkin cake, the pumpkin ganache, and lots of pumpkin spice because I just love pumpkin spice. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you like this video, I think you also like this one where I show how to create the most delicious triple chocolate Halloween cake. And if you would like to see more tutorials and recipes, make sure to subscribe, like this video, or leave a comment. I would love to hear what you think. You can also check out my website where you can find all my recipes and learn more about my chocolate decoration courses. See you in the next video.